This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Hawke's Bay, your community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.
Hi everyone, how are you going today? We are September and we are mid-September. This is Radio Hawke's Bay, your community radio, and if you have something you've always wanted to say or even wanted to have a voice, come to Radio Hawke's Bay, do a show, have a go. If you've got a subject you enjoy doing, something you've always enjoyed, come and share it with others out there. It's community. We need to know who we are. We need to know what each other's interested in. We need to know that other people care and how we can get involved in things as well. So, yeah, it's a really good medium to be able to voice anything perhaps that you haven't been able to voice that you feel is important and helpful to other people, or, like I say, some topic of passion maybe, or of real interest, or some message you really want to give to people. So we are mid-September, as I said, and you know, August was very, very much about what are you doing? What are you going to do? What are you going to put your energy into? What's going to help you make money? What's going to help you get by more comfortably, more easily? What are you going to do with your material belongings? Are you upgrading? All that kind of stuff. So it was very earth, it was very physical, it was very what is in your life in August. So now we are in September. So what does September bring? September brings a higher view of looking at life, a higher view of looking at what your possessions actually do mean to you. If you have been through crises, trauma, or changes this year, you may well have looked at what you have with different eyes. Maybe the things you thought that were important to you in your life are no longer as important. Perhaps having that particular thing, fashion, is not quite as important as it was before. Struggling to think about what those things could be. But there's a lot of things in the material world that we feel are really, really important. We struggle, we strive for those. We actually want to acquire all those. It helps us feel good that we're doing something, that we're achieving something, getting somewhere, maybe making progress in our life, or maybe showing others what we're capable of. And then if tragedy strikes in your life, if you are going through a monumental personal change, then reevaluation is what happens. And those things don't seem to have as much meaning anymore. And we get to September, like where we are, is where we start to look at what's really of value. Out of everything that we have, what's really valuable, what's really kind of long term, what is going to stay with us forever. And it's the things that make us feel good. It's the things that give us inspiration. It's our imaginations. It's a higher way of looking at things. It's the spiritual aspect of who we are. So September's very much about the spiritual aspect of you, the spiritual side of you, the spiritual you, that is actually really the you, the true you, the you that you know you are inside, the one that nobody else really can see, the one that doesn't get understood by other people very easily. And it's often really difficult when people judge you. Oh, look at that, there my voice went. We all know what that means. When your voice croaks, something about what you are saying resonates deeply with you. And so with my experiences this year, I understand that resonated very much for me, because we do worry about how people view us, and we do get disappointed when people view us in a way which is not really who we are or how we are, and it can be really disappointing. And if we've been accused of things, and many of you this year will have been accused of things by people, unjustly as well, I will say, mostly unjustly, that you will feel that you have somehow maybe been misunderstood all along by those people. You'll certainly think about, do they really know me? Are they really supportive of me? Because this is the me I know, and it's not the me I've been accused of. It's a tough one, but September, my people, September is the month to claim self as your higher self, as who you truly are, and make a statement of truth to yourself. If nobody else is there and nobody else will listen, you make those statements to yourself about who you are. So, I am a good person, I care about people, I do my very best, I don't always get it right, but I do mean well. And then what do you do this month particularly? You forgive yourself for anything that has been seen in a different light by other people. It is not something you have control of. You are okay in you. This is a year where you make an enormous statement about who you are as a person, that you validate yourself to yourself. And if you're being challenged by other people, you are the one that has to do that. You are being called to make a stronger statement about who you essentially are, who you know yourself to be, what you are made of, what you are capable of. You are being called to make that statement of truth about yourself just because you're being challenged by other people. If you're being challenged by other people, it's because you've forgotten yourself somewhere along the way. You have been doing the giving and the caring and the nurturing for other people. And the universe is going, hang on a minute. Where are you in all of this? But where are you? Where is the true you? This is the month. September is the month where you find you again, where you actually pay attention to how you know that you truly want to act in the world, how you truly want to be in the world, in spite of anybody who may try and pull you down, in spite of what anyone else is arguing about with you. Hold your head high. Hold your head high. Connect with that you in yourself that is your true you, your spiritual you. Hold your head high, and with grace, with love, and with kindness and compassion, hold true to the goodness in you, in every dealing. You don't have to tell me how hard that is. It takes supreme effort. But you know what you're doing? You're actually honouring yourself, respecting yourself, valuing yourself. And if you honour, respect, and value yourself, it will come back to you. It will be reflected back to you by people. Maybe not the same people, maybe the same people over time, but it will be reflected back to you. You will get respect from others. You will get valued by others. You will get seen for who you truly are. It is so easy to be pulled down into the mud to fight, to survive often, to make a voice heard, to try and defend ourselves. at the end of the day, I know human beings quite well. And what I know is that if a person has a problem that they are deflecting onto you, they will not want to own that problem. So they're not going to be very quick in apologising or changing their behaviour. It's a sad fact, unfortunately, and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for that as humans, because we can be incredible beings. There are some blow your mind human beings out there that can carry on in spite of all their hardships, all their struggles in life, all of their challenges around self, around being respected. And we've got iconic figures that we can look back on in history. President Mandela, Gandhi, Mother Teresa came to me this morning. They didn't have it easy. The Dalai Lama, uprooted from his homeland, walks the world. We are gifted by the presence of seeing him. He has lost his village, his city, his place that is a material place in the world. And yet there is no anger, there is no hate, there is no retribution that comes from this human being. And that is because he knows his true self, his spiritual connection. He knows he is not of the earth. He knows he is on the earth, and that he has a part to play. He has a role to play. You are the same. Many, many of you out there, this year particularly, are being called to it's like your mission, your purpose. And I hear when you say, I don't know what that is. I hear when you say, but I'm lost. This is where I knew my life was going, and now I don't know anymore. And for some of you, you will have to do some healing first. And you know, this healing period is a test. The healing period is actually a test of how well are you going to look after yourself? How well are you going to give yourself the things you need? If you need your company, give yourself company. If you, even if you go and sit where there's just a lot of people milling around. I do get the difference between being alone and loneliness, you know? But you need to support you as if you were a friend to yourself and as if you had a friend beside you that you were doing this for. You need to give yourself good nutrients if you're going through tough stuff at the moment. And this is for your physical body. You need to give your mind good stuff. Comedy is great. And even if you don't even crack even the smallest smiles, comedy has got an energy to it that eventually is kind of caught by you, captured by you, embraced by you. Things that are of interest or new to capture the mind as well. So you feed your body, you feed your mind, and you feed your emotions. So if you need a feeling, give yourself that feeling. You know, cuddly blankets are great. Teddy bears, honestly, you never outgrow them when you want to have a cuddle of something. Even if you just cuddle your pillow, even if you have a warm jersey, or if you've lost a loved one and you have a piece of their clothing, give yourself that luxury of having that experience of feeling and, just being immersed in that, feeling of cuddles. Cuddles are good. Cuddles and hugs are good. So give yourself whatever you need on all those levels, and then you've got a soul level. You know, there used to be a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? It's still out there. I'm sorry, I can't remember the author. But Chicken Soup for the Soul was all these lovely wordings, phrases, sayings that just made you feel better. They made you feel good. They made you feel like someone, because sometimes when you're going through the things you've gone through out there this year, maybe you don't even know who you are anymore. And that's the idea as well. Sorry, this year is about you. It is about transforming you. It is about you saying, yes, I matter. Yes, I belong in the world. Yes, I have a purpose. Yes, I can share these things. This is what this year is about for you. So if you've lost anything or anybody this year, it's because it's time for you to give to you everything that you have given to others over the years. It's as simple as that. And because September is a 9 month, and you can look up the number 9, you can have a little look, Google numerology. It's always good to learn as you go. So look at number 9. Number 9 is all about higher learning. It's about spirituality. And I'm not talking just about religion. You can definitely get a spiritual understanding through any religion that draws you, that informs you. Always with anything, and it's the same with all the psychic stuff, and anything I say to you now, take on board what resonates, leave beside you what doesn't resonate. If it's going to fit with you in your life, it will come back. It will show itself in your face in some way. If it's important to you, especially if it's something that will help you, encourage you to carry on in your life, that is how it happens. So higher learning means walking the high road. So walking the high road means don't get into an argument. Just sometimes good to let a person believe that what they know is okay for them to know it. Really all they're saying is, this is what I believe right now. You don't have to try to correct them necessarily or re-educate them unless they're learning, unless they want to, unless they're interested, because everybody learns at their own rate. We all have a path, we all have a journey, and we all have our little signposts. Some of us take really, really curly, wonky, difficult, arduous roads, and others just drift along across all of the corners, and teenagers are a bit like this actually. They kind of drift over things, you know. It's because they haven't been hurt by the world in the ways that we have. And then there are those that can just go with the flow, you know. So going with the flow is a little bit like just letting things be as they are, interacting with the things that are necessary, and seeing how things are going to unfold in other ways. That takes a bit. It used to take a lot for me to be able to do that. And I was always a doer. I wanted to get in there and actually make it work and, I guess, control things. I just was like, I knew exactly what to do, so I just got in there and did it. Hardest thing is not to do that. Allow someone else to do that. Let someone else lead for a change. Let them see how it works out for them. It's not easy, but it's really good because you're becoming an observer. As an observer, you actually get to see a whole lot more. It's a little bit like you see the forest instead of the tree that's right in front of you, because if you look too closely at the tree, you're going to see the bark, and then you're going to see the ants. And so if you look too closely at your house and your housework, that's what you're going to see, something more to do, something else that needs to be done. If you just look at the whole house and go, oh, you look pretty today, or actually, it feels really nice today, then you can decide what you kind of like have to do for the day, It is the same with your work. And you know, I'm an older generation. We used to make sure the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed. It was very, very important. What I've noticed today in a lot of areas of work, a lot of people just drift. So very important things get missed. I feel there'll be a balance to that again. I think we had to have a little bit of a loosening, I suppose, of all of those things that just were so important, that we thought in our generation were so important, and let go so that we can really see what is important. And maybe that next phase, that next generation will be very effective in what they do, because they'll be working from their higher self, which is what we do this month. So be a good person. Sorry, that's, just saying it simply. Be a good person, as good as you can be in any situation. That's walking the higher road. Do the best that you can given the circumstances. Give yourself the rest. Give yourself the play. Give yourself the break. Give yourself whatever it is that you need. And on that note, we have just about come to the end of our first part. There are 2 parts today, and I invite you to sort of stay for the second part. My name is Gail. It's Life Coaching with Gail, psychic, spiritual, intuitive. And so we talk about a whole lot of things on the show. It's going to be a changing show. As we go through, it changes always anyway. And if you want to contact me for a personal tarot reading, a past life reading, getting in touch with loved ones, pretty much just life coaching for personal situations. Relationship ones have been our toughest ones this year. Then contact me on 027 4166 545. And on that note, have an awesome and lovely day, and tune back in for part 2. You're with Radio Hawke's Bay.